Good afternoon to you and a very happy Friday. Greetings to all real entrepreneurs out there. How are we doing today? How has your week been? Greetings from Dubai, where it is hot, hot, hot. Where in the world are you? Do let me know. Some people starting to join us now. Hello, hello. Happy Friday to you. Hello and welcome to our regular weekly live Friday. I hope you are well. Let me know where in the world you are. Do say hello, give me a thumbs up, give me a wave. Lovely to see you. Happy Friday. How are we all doing? Welcome, welcome to you all. Say hello, happy Friday. Hello, hello. You're coming in. Nice to see a few people now. Hello Sally, is that I saw there. Sometimes it's quite difficult to see who's joining actually, so do give me a thumbs up and a wave. I think I saw Mike there, was it? Hi Dom, nice to see you. Thank you for joining. Do say hello and let me know where you are. How is your family? How's your business? How is your team? Thank you for joining. How are things where you are? Where in the world are you joining from? Hello, Sophia. How are you doing? I think you are joining us from the UK. I understand that it's pouring with rain. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sending you lots of lovely sunshine. Although I think you have had plenty of sunshine in the UK. So lovely to see you. A few more people joining. Hello, hello. Getting towards the halfway point of the year. How are we feeling about that? Do let me know. What have you been working on this week? Has it been a good one? Yeah, I know that things have been moving around in the UK, which can be really, really frustrating. How are you coping with that? All the uncertainty. We're just about to come out of lockdown and then we're not. So it can be really, really tough. I know trying to run a business, depending on the kind of business that you're in. Sophia's saying she's happy for the rain. Absolutely, it's nice when the rain comes. I think we could probably do with some of that over here, but I don't think that's going to happen. And MJ, I don't know if you're watching. I don't know if I saw you popping up. You'll be happy. So keen gardeners everywhere will be happy for the rain as well. So yeah, let me know how you're doing and how your week's been. I've had quite an up and down week, I'm not going to lie. I'm back into the rhythm of the gym every morning, which is great, and it's really lovely to be able to eat my food again and sleep in my own bed. I've been a bit up and down actually, so definitely focusing on the health and making sure that the stress happiness balance is working okay. Very busy, which I love, I think overall I'm quite happy that it's Friday, let me put it that way. So hope that you guys are well. I'm also making really good progress on my book, which I'm really, really excited to share with you soon. So 20,000 words I'm on now. I'm definitely learning from all the mistakes that I shared with you a few weeks ago, the mistakes that I made on my first book. So if you're writing your book, then do let me know, and I'd love to cheer you on. So yeah, really happy about that. Really, really excited to get that out. I had a call with my publisher a couple of weeks ago and we were agreeing some dates, and I'm about to sign a contract. So we're all good. Also, a couple of really interesting potential clients coming onto the horizon, so watch this space. And you know what? This week we celebrated an amazing milestone. We celebrated 2-year anniversary of this community, which I am really, really excited about. I'm so thrilled to have you with me here on this journey. Little did I know when I started this group just what it would grow into. You inspire me every single day, and I really feel blessed to have all of you in my life, so thank you. Lots of new joiners as well. Every week we get new joiners. We're heading towards the 1,000 member mark, which is super exciting. Welcome to each and every one of you. I'm really passionate about serving you and giving you lots of great value, not just in these weekly lives from wherever I am in the world, Dubai I am currently, but also in my Ask Me Anything slots, which we have at 3 p.m. UK time every Monday. I really want you to know that you are not alone wherever you are in that journey. So do feel free to post your questions and your challenges into this group. Let us know where you're stuck or what questions you have. So how about you? How have you been doing this week? I hope that you and your business are thriving. If you're not, do you know what, then that's okay. Please do let me know what support you need. You are not alone. So enough chit chat, let's get us going. Welcome to my weekly live at 12 noon UK time every Friday, where we talk about how you can simplify, grow and enjoy your business. Whether you're just starting out or you're several years in, whether you want to build a nice lifestyle business or chase world domination, I'm here to support your journey. Last week we were looking at a very interesting topic of the stories that we tell ourselves. So we talked about how powerful stories are, the ones that we tell about ourselves but also about other people. And I shared with you some golden rules on how to change some of that negative head talk that we all have from time to time. So if you didn't get a chance to join me last week, you can find the recording of that live in this group. All of my lives going back 2 years now are organised into guides. We have Simplify, Grow and Enjoy Your Business. So we also have a welcome guide with some information about me and the group, and then we have Simplify Your Business. So if you are feeling overwhelmed or you're feeling stretched too thin, if you're not quite sure what to focus on and how to get organised, then if you head over to the Simplify Your Business guide, that has loads of hints and tips on how to make life easier for yourself and how to organise your time and focus on what's really important. Then we have the Grow Your Business guide, which is all about client acquisition, scaling and managing people. So if that's what you are tackling right now, then that's the place that you can find support. And finally, and very importantly, there's the Enjoy Your Business guide, which focuses on you and your role and how to ensure that the business you're building continues to delight and inspire you. What we don't want is you falling out of love with your business. We really don't want that. So everything that I do falls into one or more of these 3 guides, Simplify, Grow or Enjoy, so that you can easily find the support you need. I want all 3 of those for you, of course, but you will know which one you need right now in terms of which challenges you are facing. So do check out all the resources in this group. As you know, I tend to take my cues from you in terms of what would be helpful for me to cover during these lives. And sometimes maybe I'll read something or I'll reflect on a past experience and bring those learnings to these lives to share with you, or I might share something from my book or what I'm working with my clients on. But most often these lives come from conversations, questions, and also sometimes requests that I get from members of this community. So do keep them coming. Let me know, where are you stuck? What questions do you have? What challenges are you facing? And what would it be useful to you for me to talk about next week? Today's live has been inspired by, I've written down 3, but possibly even 4 or more questions that I've received just in the last week or so about money and about managing cash flows. So today we are talking about knowing your numbers. Are you one of those people who tell themselves that they're not very good with numbers? Lots of people out there doing that. Maybe you leave all of that kind of stuff to your accountant. Do you feel though maybe that you would like to have a bit of a better handle on the numbers in your business, but you're not quite sure where to start? Do you know what? So many businesses fail not because they don't have enough income or revenue, but because they are not on top of their numbers. So let's make sure that that doesn't happen to you. As always, today's live is practical and simple. It's designed to give you some things to think about, but also some actions that you can take today. Today, we are discussing how to know your numbers even if you don't think that you're very good with them. We're all about how to build a business that works for you without it sucking the life out of you. So today what I'm going to cover is how to manage your numbers using a high-level plan, a 3-month cash flow forecast, and by focusing on 3 key numbers that every business owner needs to know. Sound good? Shall we get started then? Too many business owners leave everything to their accountants, which in my experience is a real mistake. Your accountant's job is to ensure that you're compliant with the law and HMRC or whichever the equivalent is in your country with the regulations, right? So whatever the laws and regulations and practices in your country are, or where your business is set up, that's really what your accountant's job is, to make sure that you're compliant with all of that. They obviously can advise you, and most, all good accountants will of course advise you, and they are really an invaluable source of information and kind of checking, but ultimately you are the one that is running your business, and you need to know your numbers so that you can make decisions. Your accountant is not running your business. Your accountant is someone you pay to advise you and make sure that you are compliant. So I also want to challenge this narrative that so many people have about being crap with numbers. What you probably mean, and when people say this to me, and I challenge it a little bit, what I find out is when people say that, oh, I'm really rubbish with numbers, what they usually mean is that they don't really like thinking about numbers or dealing with spreadsheets and all of that, but not really that they're crap at it, just that they don't really like it. And that's totally fine, okay? I'm here to tell you that is totally fine. You know me, I'm all about you being in your flow. So I'm not asking you or suggesting that you put yourself massively outside of your flow. I'm not actually saying that you need to do any of this, which will put you out of your flow, but you do need to be responsible for it. So get your accountant to provide you with the numbers, but take responsibility for asking the questions and understanding what you're being shown. That is what I'm talking about. We're going to start off with one of the most important tools in any business owner's kit, and that is the high-level plan. Now, I'm not talking about anything complicated. Nothing that I talk about is complicated. If you haven't already done so, what I am talking about here is mapping out your planned business earnings over time. So if you look at the balance of this year, for example, or even into next year, when are you going to sign each client? And don't be sitting there saying, I don't know. I know that you don't know, but we need to try and plan for this so that we can make it happen. So when would you like to sign each client? What's realistic when you look at the marketing that you're doing or the activity that you're doing? How often do your clients come in? When are you going to sign each client, and how long are you going to work with them for? When will you invoice them? Do you invoice up front? Do you invoice in arrears? Do you invoice in chunks? So you can map out when you're going to be raising invoices, and then based on the knowledge that you have about your about your clients, and when will they pay? So you can also then look at it from a cash flow perspective. And so you do that with your revenues or your income, but you also do that with your costs, right? So do you pay things monthly? Do you pay things quarterly? Some things you'll pay annually, right? So map those out. And the point is so that you can start seeing how your cash flows are going to look at a very high level, right? Don't forget to include what you need to take out each month as well. And I'll come back to that in a second. This is about so much more than just the numbers. The numbers are important, but your high-level plan really gives you the shape and size of your business. You can actually see it starting to be mapped out. You need to look at capacity. So where are the peaks and troughs? Can you manage to serve that number of clients at the same time? Do you have enough people? Or if it's just you, what's your personal capacity? It's all very well wanting growth, and everybody always talks about wanting more growth, but are you set up to cope with that? Can you manage? Could you manage a huge influx of new clients? So it's all about sort of planning that out and being really intentional about what it is that you want and what it is that your business is going to look like over the next 6 to 12 months. Are there, when you've done that then, are there months where maybe you don't have enough revenue to match what you spend? See, now then we can start planning and saying, well, actually, maybe I need to do some more activity to fill that gap that I've identified. This way of looking at your numbers really allows you to properly plan, yeah? How many people do you need and when will you need them? When does it make sense for you to take time off? Very important. When should you be ramping up and ramping down your marketing efforts? Instead of being reactive, which a lot of people are, well, clients come and we serve them, but instead of being reactive, it is about trying to shape your business and planning for that. I always talk about people spend such a long time kind of dismissing what they want by saying, oh, well, you know, that's not going to happen or that can't happen. How about you get really, really clear about your ideal scenario and then put steps in place to actually make it happen? That's what we're talking about. So yes, you're basing it also on what you know to be true, past experience, you know, your market, you will know your markets, but also what do you want? Yeah, don't forget that piece as well. Now, I'm not at all saying that any of this is easy or that it always works out the way that we plan. In fact, I don't need to tell you, it never does, right? It never ever works out the way that we plan it. A plan is out of date as soon as you've made it. So then you might be sitting there saying, well, then what's the point of doing it? Haha, I'm glad you asked me that question. It's the process that you go through to put that plan together that's so valuable. It's those questions that you ask yourself, the calculations, the trade-offs that you make, the insight that you get into your business when you map things out in that way. That is the magic of it, not the actual plan, not the output. It's actually more about the process. The important thing is to be on top of your cash flows. Yeah, running out of cash happens to so many businesses, and if you plan ahead, you will be able to see when the crunch points are coming and take action. Now, sometimes things happen. I mean, we've all had that experience, right? More than a year ago now, when the world changed. And so we can't plan for everything, but we can at least have visibility over our numbers, and we can at least be intentional about what we're doing. So talking about cash flows, that does bring us on to my second topic, which is a 3-month cash flow forecast. And what this is it is a simple spreadsheet that maps out in detail. I would say do it in a lot of detail when you're coming to this 3-month point. What you expect to come in and out of your business bank account over the next 3 months and when. So it's really a view of your bank account, a prediction, if you like, of your bank account that says, right, I've raised this invoice, I'm expecting this person to pay around this date, and I know that this monthly thing comes out on this date. And I can move this one around here, I'll pay this then, and it's planning out your cash flow. Now, this is particularly important if cash flow is tight, which I know for many businesses, especially when they're growing, really cash flow can really be tight. Or when you're getting off the ground. So there's many moments, there's many sort of crunch points when cash can be really tight. But my view is that even if you have a bit of a buffer, which is what I would advise you to have if you possibly can, it's still good to map that out. It's still good to be on top of that and have your 3-month cash flow forecast so you can really see in a lot of detail what you're expecting to happen in your business bank account up and down. Have a running total so that you can see the balance as you go through the coming weeks. So you can see what your bank account balance is going to be at the end of June, for example. You can predict that, right? Add in when you expect to receive any money from your clients, and also when you expect to have to pay, you know, salaries, suppliers, rent, etc., whatever the costs that you have in your business. So I'm just not talking about something complicated, something really simple. There is a template in this group, so do search for cash flow template or ping me and I'll send you a link. This is not about accounting principles, yeah, this is about managing your cash. I would also highly recommend that you maintain a similar document for your personal finances. Now, I know that a lot of people have what shall we call it, an interesting relationship with money. It's tied up with what we think we're worth, what we feel comfortable spending, how other people see us, all kinds of you know, childhood stuff, family stuff, business stuff. It's complicated, yeah, money is complicated. And what I can tell you for absolutely certain, having coached many people on this topic, even if you are uncomfortable around money, even if you think that you're crap with money, even if you hate looking at the numbers, whatever it is that you tell yourself, it's always better to be clear. Always, no exceptions. Face the reality and then you can make some decisions. Take control, it's your money. As a business owner, it is really important to keep a handle on your numbers, and I promised you that I would talk about the 3 key numbers that every business owner needs to know. So ready for these? Number 1, what do you need personally? What do you need to take out of the business every month to cover your personal needs? Yeah, what is that number? What is that number? I'm not talking about extravagant number, not necessarily everything that you would ever want to buy, but what's that number that would make you feel comfortable? What is that number? Yeah, that's going to cover your mortgage or your rent and your costs, and have a little bit of spending money in there, obviously buying food and paying your bills. What is that number? I'm amazed actually at how many people don't know that number. Often people who tell themselves some of those things that I just listed for you in terms of being uncomfortable around money and thinking you're crap with money and all of that kind of stuff, not really wanting to face it, right? So what's that number? Please work out what that number is. That's the first number that you need to have in your head. Nice round number, I like round numbers, right? So what is that as a round number? I don't mean to the penny and the pence. I mean, round number, to the closest few hundred quid. And then the second number is, what are your business costs? So what does your business cost to tick over? I'm not talking about discretionary spend, I'm talking about what your monthly burn rate is. So salary or contractor fees, software, regular software that you use, maybe your regular marketing. What is that consistent burn rate? If you have an office, what's the cost of that? All of those consistent costs. What is that burn rate? Now, you might sometimes flex it because you might decide to do more marketing, or you might decide to, do some work with a designer, or you might decide to get some photographs taken, whatever it might be. But I'm talking about, what is that monthly burn rate? What is that keep the lights on number that your business needs just to keep ticking over? What is that total number each month? So that is our second really key number. First of all, what do you need to take out? And what does your business need to keep the lights on, to keep it ticking over? Now, when we look at those 2 numbers, your personal needs plus your business burn rate, if you add those 2 together, you will get to your third key number, and that is how much revenue, how much invoice, how much income do you need to make each month to cover those 2, right? I told you it was simple. I'm not trying to patronize you. I'm not trying to make it overly simple. It really is that simple. That is what really, if you've got a good accountant who does all of your books and who provides you with the numbers and talks you through them, those 3 numbers, that is what you need to know, right? How much revenue do you need each month to cover what you need to take out and what your business needs to keep the lights on? Now, there's one more piece of this jigsaw puzzle. You also need to calculate your runway. Now, what do I mean about that? What do I mean by that? I mean by that, how long will your cash last? Your business cash and your personal cash. So I talked about having a bit of a buffer in your bank account, and ideally you want to do that in both your personal and your business bank accounts if possible. And you want to know, how long is that going to last you for? Most people would feel comfortable with a 3 to 6 month runway for personal finances, and probably the same for business finances, depending on where you are in the business cycle. So if you've got cash in the bank, how many months is that going to last you? It's really important to know that, and that's really tied up with your attitude to risk. If your runway is much shorter than you feel comfortable with, that is going to put you under a lot of stress. And so it's actually worth looking at how you can reduce your costs so that you can extend your runway and alleviate your stress. Your mental health is really important when it comes to money. And it is important that you are in a situation where you're not having to constantly worry about money, which is hugely draining. So as I say, depending on your attitude to risk, you will prefer a longer or a shorter runway. You might have a different view on your personal finances than your business finance, particularly if you are in partnership with somebody personally, if you're married or you're living with somebody and you're sharing finances. It's also going to be a discussion between the two of you. In terms of business, the same, whether if you're a single founder versus several owners of the business, you might have different attitudes towards, or comfort levels, I should say, in terms of how you manage your finances. So it's important to be really clear about that. It doesn't matter what the number is. That's not what's important. What matters is that you are clear and you agree with yourself or with your partner's personal or business, that you agree what is ideal, what is target, right? That is what is important. Clarity is the most important thing in so many of the things that I talk about. And knowing your numbers is about being clear. It isn't about complicated spreadsheets. It is about being really clear about what those key levers are in your business. So, we've looked at a high-level plan, we've talked about a 3-month cash flow forecast, and we've also looked at the 3 key numbers that every business owner should know, however good your accountant is. So do you know your numbers? Do let me know. And do you have any questions about your finances? Do let me know in the comments, either now if you're watching live or later on if you're watching on replay, which I know that lots of you will be. So welcome to you. I can't say hello to you personally because I don't know your names, but welcome to you on replay as well, whether you're watching in the group or maybe you're watching on YouTube. Also, do let me know what is your next step. What's that next step in your life, in your business? What do you need to make you feel more comfortable and confident? Comfortable and confident. Do book in a clarity call with me and let's get you moving past whatever is blocking your progress and on to that next challenge. Before I close up for today, I do want to give you some next steps, some concrete things that I suggest you do as a result of today's live. Number 1, calculate your 3 key numbers. What do you need personally? What your business needs, what's that burn rate, and how much revenue you need to cover both. Number 2, make a bit of a plan for the second half of this year. What resources, people, systems do you need in place to serve the clients that you are planning on serving? How many more clients do you need? Get really clear on that. How will you sign them and when will you ideally sign them? And what do your cash flows look like? And number 3, you know what's coming. Take some action, manage your numbers, get your accountant to prepare the numbers by all means, but take an interest in them, take control. It's your business after all. So please do let me know how you get on with this, and do let me know if you need any support or you want to talk it through with me. I'm going to close up today's live with 2 quotes about you and your numbers. The first one is from Jack Lew, who is a former US Secretary of the Treasury. The budget is not just a collection of numbers, but an expression of our values and aspirations. And my second quote is from the Lebanese-American entrepreneur, Marcus Lemonis. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. And I certainly agree. So what are your key numbers? Let's get you into the driving seat of your business and building intentionally towards what you want. Decide what's really important to you and to your business and stick to it consistently. Building a business is tough. It can be a really long and hard road, but make sure that you are building something that is meaningful to you, that really will sustain you through those tough times. Be intentional, say no to the things that don't serve you and the goal that you want to achieve. And as I pass back over to you, that is really what I want you to take from today. What is the outcome that you seek? What is the result? What is the goal? Do Put your energy into getting really clear about that, but allow yourself to do things your way. Yes, of course, you can learn from me, you can learn from others, but when you synthesize all of that learning, when you bring it inside of you, what comes out really must be congruent with you. It must work for you. If you want to build a huge world domineering empire, then go for it. But if you want to do your thing, do you know what? That's okay as well, of course. Focus on listening to yourself and ask yourself what you need so that you can spend more time in your flow. Ask yourself, what would a business that really works for me look like? Do let me know your thoughts and your questions on this or any other topic relating to how to simplify, grow and enjoy your business. What area of business would you like me to speak about next? Also, who do you know that could benefit from joining this community or having a conversation with me? If you haven't already got your free copy of my first book, The Real Entrepreneur, then you can check out therealentrepreneur.book.com. If you prefer an Audible or Kindle version, then you can also find those on Amazon. And do check out the accountability section of my book for much more on knowing your numbers. If you get the foundations right, then we can build from there. I really hope that you have a lovely weekend, whatever you're doing and whoever you're doing it with. Dancing in the rain, I hope. I really wish you a happy and peaceful time. And as always, if you want to talk, you know where I am. Please remember to be where you are in the journey. You don't need to know it all, and you definitely don't have to do it all. Take care, stay safe, and do keep in touch. Bye for now.